Hi friends, my name is AbhimanyuDaspan. Today we are going to cover local database part into iOS mobile application development. So basically there are three types, mainly three types as you are aware about these things like user default and one is your property list and third is your core data. So I am going to cover core data today. As much as I can just finish, I'll try to share this knowledge. So this series I'm going to create about the core data, all about the core data part, like how we can implement this. So I'll take care of number one is manual configuration of core data into our existing project. So this will be our first topic. In that, like what we will just cover is like there can be a existing project in that if you want to implement the core data, it will be very simple to add but after this learning, and one can be a fresh app would be there, and in fresh application also you can add the core data quickly. So something like that I'm just trying to do, and once it will be achieved, we'll go on the number two. That can be your generic functions, generic functions for saving data, for fetching data, and then you can say delete and you can say update. So all these functions we'll just explore using generic so that anything can save, anything can update, anything can fetch, and anything can delete. So in this video, I'll try to complete those 2 points. In future, so many things are there. We'll add on that time itself. So without any confusion, we can quickly go there on Xcode and like we can see like how we can do these. Yeah. So first you can go with the create new project. You create this iOS application. Uh, you the name you can say for example, and language should be set. You saw right here one option is coming with core data. If you will click on this, Xcode will automatically generate all the things for you. But I don't want this because maybe you are in existing project itself and you want to add core data there as well. So we'll be comfortable at both places in existing applications and in fresh applications. So ideally, what's happening here when we are going to create core data part, at the end it will just the core data also what it is doing is it is creating .sqlite at the end. So SQLite means we are like component which is used into iOS and Android everywhere with based data set local database. Apple introduced the core data for developer use, and like they can use object instead of SQLite query. So there are three things you need to keep in mind. One is container. Say NSPersistentContainer. NSManagedObject NSP, and the third one is your NSManagedObject. So this particular key is suppose something like your city. This can be context can be your ground in the city, and it would NSManaged is the player. If you want to talk with players, you will use check. Container will give you check, and context is a plate of all the tables which is and context. And once context we will able to generate our player, we fetch our player, and we can just modify and delete our things over there. So if you want to add it, you have to focus on and you need to generate them properly. And persistent container you need to load into your uh, this container will load it, it took a copy of SQLite and it created one environment into Apple, and then it will give you context, means like tables, all the tables and entities and those things will be presented to context. That you can use your NSManagedObject, like final player. So whatever tables you interact with that, those you can interact through NSManagedObject. So this was a simple history. Now we can go there and say, first we quickly go and we all know we select features. You can see my previous video, like just basic learning. This data manager is responsible to load whatever code was giving us as here. The code is here. It can be here. Now, first I want a path in that of application support folder, because there my file will be available, like .xlate file will generate and it will available. Get support path function, you can write something. It will be open to path. Will be your application support directory. This is my private directory. You will given mark, and this is 0 in the to give you array path that you need to print that will available. Get once done, go to exploitbrowser.org. Here you can download this version, and once you will download, it will look like this. This time will be there, and you can check your tables, everything into visual form of Xcode. Simple. Now you can come here again. You can check this. Like now, what I want. So create my three objects, whatever I just discussed with you, and it's persistent container, and it's managed object context, and NSManagedObject. So create environment first, and in that you can say variable, you can create a persistent container, and this can be NS persistent container. It is not coming because I haven't improved the code data part, NS persistent container. Once you do this, you need to load the container properly, NS persistent container with the name of your application name. It will be there. So I don't have the data model object. So what I need to do is I'll create the new file. You can take this as a data model, and this will be your core data model. You can give the same name, what you suggested, core data, and inside the core data you can just load it. So this time this visual form came, and here you can see all the SQLite thing, whatever it will get here. But in object and entity form, we will able to see these things here in Apple environment. Now, core data example is ready to load, and what you can do is container dot load persistent store, and you can say description will be my description error. If there is an error, then what you can do is stop user here with a message like something bad happened while loading coding. Else, you can just proceed further, and you can say persist while loading code and return your container. If it is going successfully, then what you can do, you can create the next thing, which is your football ground, which is your context. So here you created, you lifted up a replicate skeleton of this GBSQLite, and container is loaded. This SQLite container and like this .SQLite file is loaded, and it is loaded on as a XC data model. Now XC data model have one context, and it will read the entire table from this data model, and that will help to check more deeper into the persistent container. It can be also lazy, and in the persistent container itself, view context is here. This is called NSManagedObjectContext. So you need to return that. So view context means things, how many tables are there. The complete skeleton will be there on context. So basically, one is your persistent container. On the top of it, your NSManagedObjectContext, and on this, your object model is entity will be there. So this is your table, which those are coming from the SQLite itself. So you can say these are tables, and these tables you can use them in the form of NSManagedObjectContext, and then you can use your NSManagedObject. So this is fine. Now what you can do is you can create the function which is save, and in that save, like if anything happens into the context, you can quickly check to the hash save boolean flag, and with this, if something is changing, you can handle these things, and you can just try context dot save catch otherwise, and you can say what was the problem. So you handle here the saving part. So these three functions are giving you an environment. Now we can check like whether my core data example is loading or not. How? I'll say core data manager that shares or save. Once I call this, it will go and just call context. So context will ignite into the heap through lazy. It will code persistent container to initialize and check whether it's loading properly or not. We have to make this point here. Now, let's see, things should work perfectly fine. Once this will complete, our first part is complete, so you can add your manual core data into existing or fresh applications easily, and you can set up them using this style. Once it will start running, we'll more focus towards generic functions for saving, testing, deleting, and updating the data. Basically, we will try to play with data, we'll create some tables and try to update them. Yeah, so this is while loading coding. Now, what you can do is quickly create some more functions, and those should be generic, not like save is already created. So create one function. What you can do, I know very well there are code data, there is code data example, and that entity is there. So basically, entity is one entity means one table into SQL. What you can do is suppose you can create parent entity, parent table, parent name, and age is something like that. This is 64. So make sure your attribute naming is proper and in camel case or in either snake case, but your first letter should be small. In entity, first letter should be bigger. Whatever you are following previously in SQLite that we can follow here. And this data type should be uh, uh, properly maintained. Like these are the data type styles that should be there. If you want to save some big data, then you can save them in binary data, like BLOB, binary large object, or you can just save only URLs instead like saving big data. So it will be good. Now, what you can do is as like we are making them generic, so we need to take care of something. Whatever entities, attributes, and those things we created, something like that, same situation and same attributes you have to create with a normal object of codable, and you can make generic functions for any entity. Before that, you can check the inspector. In the inspector, how I need to just say like I have one class, parent, and this parent class is an NS managed object class, and if it is NSManagedObject class, but how I will generate this? So I'll generate this through manual style, not class style. If I will do this, whatever I will generate, it will give you error like we are not able to connect with your skeleton, the context, the model which we just created. So that is, we should add this manual null. And something like that also, one more entry you can do easily, the child. And in the child, same variable, same things, you can add it here, other name, or it can be string, and zone name, file name, and name will be continued. So this is fine, small intro. Now make sure my child is also created as a manual configuration, and there are some relation rules as well. Else we will go with the relationship. So we'll discuss it into the next lecture because already we are loaded here with some generic concepts. So now what you need to do, you need to select this and you need to go on add it and create model. If you will not select, it will not give you the information of creation of file. So create and understanding of the first class, go there, create both classes and try to add them into your associate place. Make sure this should be also selected wherever you want to create your file. Once you will do this, it will create all the things for you. It's supporting Objective-C, so that's why Objc. As I told you, this is NSManagedObject, your player. So you want to play with this player on the context loaded container, on the loaded persistent container of actual copy. So it's basically nothing simple, a copy. Now, what you can do is error gone. Now, what you can do is you can just check its category like extension. In the extension, they give you a good fetch function. So this fetch function is saying, like, hey, listen, I will be useful when you will fetch the data. So, NS fetch request is the person who will interact while fetching rather than queries of SQL. So there can be the predicate, there can be the short description and descriptor, those we can use, and it is pretty simple. Variable name and age we have already created here, so those are same. And then finally, it's identifiable means you can put same type of data like name and age can be Abhi and 34, Abhi and 34 two times. Then how you will identify like this is not the same thing. So there will be a different ID. So that's why Apple forced to go with unique identification. Now it is saying there can be a ambiguity or ambiguity and something like that. It is giving you the error. You have to check why it's coming. So if I will pause it because error should not be there. For data example, and you will once you say product in build folder, and I think it will not give you any error. So once I run this, it should not give you error. Yeah. So it's launching and everything is okay, perfect. Now what to do? Same available to variable and type. So you can assume but we have to physically. So I'm going here into the data manager. Now what I'll do, I will create the function be your generic function or data is like it can function uh, create an entity. So see, and as a normal developer, I don't need to go every time in class with core data. So it should not be there. If I have 100 view controllers, I'll not add core data everywhere. So also, if I'm creating all the places, this thing, it is pretty bad. So what I can do is, I can think like that. If I have a parent context, then I'll request with a class or a script, whatever. It should go with a codable thing, and there I can say like whatever variable I took here, those I can take here as well. And the make sure the naming convention should be equal to your core data attribute. Otherwise, this will be a crash or it will not able to save properly. So the name, the attribute name should be equal to my request model name and type also. Okay. Please make sure it is same. Now codable can be there, but what it is, like I need to figure out like if I'm giving you the facility to change the data, like give the generic permission of NSManagedObject, then I need to define the rule. So I will go with the protocol-oriented approach with the entity base, and this entity base can be codable itself, and this entity base I can just pass here. Why I'm making codable? Because inside that encodable is available, and through the encodable I can create keys and values very easily. So that's why I'm using this. Now, the entity name I want to pass, this will be my rule. So every time a person wants to do something with core data, he will create his structure class using entity base, and entity base will help me to generate uh, core data and its managed object. So it will force, but yeah, it will give you a good structure as well. Now this is done. Now what I can do is I want a function inside that C can be entity base, which I created recently. So it can be entity base and the controller. This is the protocol. I will lift it from here and place it into the interface of entity base and this is my entity base. Now we have to go and just create some function. The function will be entity base, and in this entity base, what you can do is you need to return something, and which will be your NSManagedObject. Why I'm returning here? Because tomorrow it can be a relational database also, and on that time, like if I will just make it more complex, it will be pretty hard to add child. So for now, it can be simple like NSManagedObject. It will listen. But yeah, you don't need to fill anything. You only need to give it to NPT and request. That's all. And that can be your type key. And once you will give me that, I will say object will be my entity description init with a new model object, which is NSManagedObject. So how I will do this, it is asking you two things. One is entity name and another is your context. We have this thing. So entity description dot entity name. So that's why we added this. And here it can give you the context, whatever context you will get, return from persistent something. So object is ready. You can return that object, but before that you need to fill it out. So the other developers will not fill it. It can be automatically filled here as a module developer. You can fill it. So what you will do, key value in entity, which is codable. I want a dictionary, but from where? So what I'll do, I'll say I'll create one function of variable here which will return with the dictionary. But right now it is not available. So what you can do, extension, and you can make the entity extension and say function dictionary, and which will be your string, and anything you can say if dictionary will get present. So let data, if you have the data, then you can encode. Myself means I'm encodable, and you can encode me and you can try me also, because I'm a try function. So so uh, try try will catch it. One thing will be okay. You can use this again if something happens there, then you can catch that error. Otherwise, what you can do, you can use jar let, and you can say give me the dictionary please. How you will give me the dictionary is try JSON serialization, and there you can get JSON object through your data stream. So JSON should be a data. I wanted it data, and else you can say determinate. So this dictionary, if you have, you can return it strongly. That's all. This function will give you the dictionary form of encodable entity which you pass from view controller. So if the parent request will convert into C and then C value and C value. Now we know entity name is not available into these attributes, so we have to avoid this. That things will be perfectly fine, and we need to load on the core data. So it's already loaded, and we can go there and check the thing. How, like I have path also printed. So on the app delegate, we printed that path. By that way, you can open it up, open, click on this, open, and just command shift G, you need to paste this here and click on that. Core data example is available here. Open it. Once you will open it, child, parent, everything is created because I already hit this save, and automatically it lifts it up and it's creating these things. Okay. Now what I can do is dictionary is there. You go there and just try to explore. So see, giving a flag and try and it's there only. You can just use the dictionary. Otherwise, so now you need to take care to avoid your entity name. So you can create enum code data key, and you can create is my entity name. You put this as a string, and what this function is saying, type initialization condition binding must have optional. So I will check. Yeah, so this is optional that I forgot. So I will need to convert it also into and all good. Then it will work. Let's do check and sub that all good. Yeah, fine. Now going this function is saying like if something bad will happen, this function is not showing something, it throws, will catch, try, and then you will be able to load the thing. So core data key, entity name, string, you need to avoid rest things will be perfectly fine. So entity name dot raw value is equal to key, not equal to key, then only you can save your data properly using one function of NSManagedObject, which is set value and value for key. So value, any value will come there, that will come there. And your key will be there and it will get generated, which is taking care of filling the object and creating the object. Fill the object, create the object is not a cup of tea of the second developer or a 100 view controller. It will automatically get filled and hopefully things will work perfectly fine and we'll see whether it's filling or not. So I need to create a parent request. A request parent entity. So parent request entity name is parent request, not an standard object. So entity name I have already, but still I can just give this parent and name will be suppose like Abhi and 34. Now request parent you need to ask as a parameter into core data manager.share.view. To create entity can be your entity base, which is request parent in a digital, your object. So you will see it will queryable function and it is returning NSManagedObject which we have created. So request even the that is queryable, so take care of do catch. So that will happen. It will inform you and one will be okay. It will give you the result you can try. So parent is the core data object which we got from this generate function that we wanted. And now if it is done, this is our duty to save it. So after modification or after any update, like you want to go with the relationship, you can play with it here and in future, and you can just modify it with this object and then finally take decision of saving. So for this, I never made it more generic. You can take chance, and you can just add up those things nicely there. So give it type like it's the parent type, and try to get that. So you don't need to give at both places. It's more than sufficient at one place. Now either here or either there. Now saving core data is created, but you haven't saved it. So you need to call parent core data sphere.save. Once you will do this, things automatically get done. So what happened by this function A? I would like to say like parent request. I created, I don't know about core data in the application. I'll create my simple structured class using this entity base, which is giving facility to fill and give me the object of core data very easily. So I need to give the type of core data. I don't need to take care of creating the NSManaged object. I don't need to take care of filling this object. It will take care automatically, and we have to get the data ready, and also we can just save this on the database. So we'll see it's here. I'll run this using breakpoint, and it should work. It was successfully loaded. Now remove unnecessary breakpoint. You go there, you check, and you'll see things are there or not. You'll see. So database is loaded with one entry. So congrats, like we have created one function which is save created and create generate function. Now what you can do is you can do the same thing, and you can fetch using generate function. So this is like fetch anything, create anything. So something like that. The style you can use, and in that like how you will go. So again I'll go here and I will create one more function which is fetch. And in that fetch you need to give the type and manage the object. You need to fetch using type, and the type can be type, and it will give you the type style list using fetch request. So these things will not work out for us, like fetch request to type this, that. Those things will not work out. Again, we have to go very strongly. What you can do is, rather than this, you can create fetch request first, as I told you. So fetch request, you will create, like give me something. So this will be your NS fetch request. NS fetch request, you will create two entity name, and entity name you will get through type, whatever type you are given. So this should be your type. And once you will give type, you will understand it is giving you the name of that type, particular type. So like parent, then parent, child, then child. So something like that. It will give you parent, it will give you child, and this fetch request, this style also should be C. So here you can see those things are available. In the core data manager class, before initializer, you can also make this into C. So this is perfectly fine. And if you will print your type, it will, for your satisfaction, you can print this. So you'll understand what result is coming there. Now fetch request is ready. You have to fetch something. So a fetch object, how you will fetch? Actually, there can be two things. One is predicate, which you can apply on fetch request and short descriptor. So those two things, just because those two things you can just keep in mind. Fetch request is taking care of that. So fetch request dot predicate means NS predicate. Now what is NS predicate? If you will practice this, it will give you the result with some formats like argument array, argument, and something like that. You can just keep on adding. So array also is a good thing, and format is also nice thing. Like if you will use format, so I use format. Like suppose percentage k means k means key. So what key? Key is equal to my name actually. So it can be at the rate because this is a string. If it is integer A, then it can be D, something like that. According to your requirement, you can just place these things. Also, it can go with the liking part also, like contains, those kind of things are there in the NS predicate. Explore that. It will give you good results and it will be very good if you will explore it. And you can say argument list is any. So format is this one and argument array is here. So if I will say name and then I will say it can be Abhi, then it will give me only appropriate Abhi listing through this predicate. So something like that you can use it. For now I am commenting because my target is to complete all the instance in less time. Short descriptor means you can say NS array of short descriptor is init with key, something like name is a string, and you can just get sorted results through these kind of short descriptors. True, false, you can pass here and you can get results accordingly. Now, the main thing is context, which I created in NSManagedObject, NSManagedObjectContext, give me the data, fetch the data through this fetch request which I have created. So once you will do this, you will see, make sure like what it is returning. So it is throwable function and it is returning the result. Result already we declared that in which form we just want result. So we want it as a T. So fetch request is saying give me the T type of result. This will be there. And one thing is properly handled here is like it will never be missed. List can be empty, but it will give you the result. The data will never be nil. List will never be nil. So this is done. I think you can use this and your generic fetch request is also ready. Now you can just make one more function which can be removed. Update, once you will test something, you can update into that data itself and you can call save, it will automatically get saved. You see. Remove, what you want to remove is NSManagedObject itself. So you can say NSManagedObject and you can just save it using save after removing the data. So you remove the data, you get the object, and this can be a type thing, and remove that properly. So what you do, yeah, you will say context, please remove something or delete something. You will be able to delete. There are lots of things to delete, like delete object, like it will be a complete text, you can delete as name it and name it right. You can delete one object also, one by one. It's yours. So I'm removing right now one thing generically so that you can just understand like anything how we can just remove And also you need to make sure like whether it is a global function or not. Yeah, no. So now once after the listing of this, you can say cell and say this is perfectly fine, I think, and it can be try. Try will give you a hard feeling and so you can make it throw. So ending function. So save is giving you any trouble outside? No. So it will not give you try. Fine. So this is ready, command control I, here all things are ready. So create patch, remove, update will see here only. So if you will come here, add something. So we saw like into the code data manager, stores are available. So will work, but this time what you need to do is patch something. You need to comment the top one. You can patch it properly. Size you need to give me. Here give me the parent size and make sure it fits itself, otherwise it will be in trouble. And this list will be with you. So now, if this list is here, what you can do with this list, you can just print out this list first. So my parent list will be there, play with it, and if some modification is required, I'll update it. To update, no extra additional function is required there. So first, I'll see whether my parent is coming or not. Once it is coming, from it we just achieve this also, and then what you can do is you can update this immediately. So while printing, you can just say parent dot name can be John instead of other thing, and you can just say parent name. You can say parent again and save it. That's all immediately. So both we are killing two birds, updating, patching. We'll see. It's saying it is optional thing. So please make it final. Okay, no problem. Rerun this and we'll see the things here, like whatever we wrote, like this is our generic function again. So saving, nothing to save. Yeah, list is there. I'm requesting to them, like please give me the list. So right now it's a zero value, but if I'll make this point at 2, it will give you one value, and this one value will go here, and that one value is this one, which I already stored. You can refresh it, check. So this is parent name is Abhi. Now I converted this, updated because same football ground, as I told you, same football ground, the same city, the same player. So John is updated with the John. Now I'm updating this. You'll see this update. Once I just update it here, it will update there as well. So once it's updated, I'll refresh. Once you refresh, John is updated. So it's converted from Abhi to John. So we updated, we patched, and we saved everything strongly. Now I need to delete it actually. So how you will do this? So you can comment it out. You can say remove my first instant instant object. So list it should not be empty. If it is not empty, then 100% at one page first object will be there, and I need that first parent and I need to delete it. So what you can do is code data manager here dot remove, and that remove will take care of my first page. So I think it should work. The same player should be there, and I'll try this time. The fetch is working as a delete function. So also we can delete generic objects. It is not like parent. It can be child, anything you can just send into this and it will get deleted. So list is there. It will come here and it will try to delete. Fetch, one object fetch. It came into first parent and it went to deletion and then save. Try to save it. It is so once you will refresh this, it is deleted. So congrats, like we covered all 4 points here, and those 4 points were actually these points, and these points are also get covered. In future, now we have to continue with this, and I will try to cover one thing which is relationship, and relationship. After then relationship, what you can do is you can go with migration. So migration of data like version 1 to version 2 should be very easy into core data. Generally we never explore, that's why we are not using this core data, but if we once we explore we love it. And then the cloud storage of the core data, so you can save this on your device. Also you can save this on cloud server. How we will do this, we'll check it out. This is a new default API. Rest we can just save our default data on cloud also. It's nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this, and thanks for your patience. Hope it will work for you and it will be good for your friends as well. Kindly share this channel information to your friends. Thanks a lot.